Tammy Reed in with your VON Major News package for today, Thursday, 7th February 2019. In our lead stories, nationally, 16 nationals invested with the 2018 National Honors Awards, and St. Kitts and Nevis to host the inaugural International Women in Employment and Business Conference. Regionally, Guyana government appeals Chief Justice's ruling in no confidence motion case. Internationally, Germany orders Facebook to gather and mix less data. And in sports, Chris Gayle returns to Windies lineup for England ODIs. We'll have the details to these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan.
Welcome back, and now the national news in detail. 16 nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis were invested with the 2018 National Awards honors for their exceptional contribution to the development of the Federation. The awards were presented at an investiture ceremony held by His Excellency the Governor-General, Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, on Wednesday, February 6, 2019 at Government House. The Companion Star of Merit, CSM, was awarded to the following persons: Ambassador His Excellency Sydney Osborne, Education Public Service; Alfonso Barker, Business Entrepreneurship Culture; Kenneth Kelly, Business Entrepreneurship; Alfonso Bridgewater, Sports Administration Public Service; Creighton Petchion, Culture; J. Calvin Foy, Policing and Community Service; Elston Elimat Nero, Musical Excellence, locally, regionally, and internationally; Sylvine Henry, Public Service Community Service; Hilton Clark, Education Community Service; and Adrian Lamb, Musical Production Community Service. 6 nationals were the recipients of the Medal of Honor MH: Helenita Nathaniel, Education Community Service; and Lionel Gums, Mansion Bull, Culture; Sylvester Hodge, King Socrates, Wolston Shield, King Star Shield; Jacqueline Leader, Singing Jackie; and Errol Dolphin, King Arrow, were awarded in the category of Calypso and Music. The awards were presented by His Excellency Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton. The honorees were awarded in keeping with the National Honors Act No. 19 of 96, which provides for the Star of Merit, the Medal of Honor, and the Order of National Hero to be awarded to any citizen of St. Christopher and Nevis who renders distinguished and outstanding service to the nation. The inaugural International Women in Employment and Business Conference, WEB, will be held here in St. Kitts and Nevis on March 1st and 2nd, 2019. The conference, which will be hosted by the Windsor University School of Medicine in Cayon, will bring a delegation of 7 distinguished professional women from the United Kingdom to share their expertise alongside an impressive roster of presenters from across St. Kitts and Nevis. The keynote speech is slated to be given by Professor Laura Serrant, OBE, reflecting the conference theme of resilience and readiness in a global environment. The list of local presenters include Mr. Hensley Daniel, Public Policy Consultant and former Deputy Premier of Nevis; Ms. Patricia Walters, CEO of The Cable; Mr. Farron Lawrence, President of the Chamber of Industry and Commerce; Dr. Tamu Brown, Entrepreneurship Coach; and Mrs. Ingrid Charles Gum, former Director of Gender Affairs in St. Kitts. With the UN Gender Equality Agenda in mind, the conference promises to have a unique focus on how both men and women can harmonize their efforts so that women can increase their capacity to take on leadership roles and responsibility. Participants from other Caribbean islands, the USA and the UK are expected to attend the conference. Former Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis and leader of the opposition, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzil L. Douglas, is in Mexico to attend a meeting of the High-Level Commission, Universal Health in the 21st Century, 40 Years of Alma Ata. Dr. Douglas was appointed to the commission by PAHO Director Dr. Carissa F. Etienne. The commission is headed by former President of Chile, Michelle Bachelet. At the two-day meeting, which began today, commission members along with PAHO and WHO Director will receive the draft report with recommendations on health system transformation processes towards universal health, the achievements made since the Declaration of Alma Ata was adopted, and the barriers that persist to achieve the universal and equitable access to goods and services. The Ministry of Tourism has taken up an initiative to make 2019 a plastic-free year, a wave of change. Officials said this came about following what they say was the exceptional feedback, support and cooperation received from the public as well as stakeholders in 2018 with the Plastic Free July Challenge. Plastic Free Challenge was implemented last year for people around the world to pledge to be more aware of their plastic use and choose to refuse. Assistant Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism and Chairperson of the St. Kitts Sustainable Destination Council, SDC, Daniel Taylor Williams, says that as a small island developing state, more attention should be paid to reducing the amount of plastic waste that is generated.
When we say plastic free, because I can imagine people are already beginning to say plastic free, I have all of these things made of plastic. Even cars are made with plastic. We are speaking specifically to single-use plastic. We are encouraging persons to reduce the use of single-use plastics.
According to the tourism officials, several actions have been taken to further promote a plastic-free St. Kitts, and that activities will continue to drive home the ultimate goal, a plastic-free St. Kitts to all. In related news, the Heart of St. Kitts Foundation, which was established in 2016 with the mission to contributing to the lasting legacy of the culture and environmental well-being of St. Kitts, is celebrating its third anniversary with a week of activities centered around the plastic-free legacy that was adopted from the Ministry of Tourism Plastic Free July initiative.
Our mission is to build awareness for sustainable priorities in the island, which provide local funding for projects that will make St. Kitts a more sustainable place to live and experience. We want to improve waste management and preserve our local cultural and heritage sites, and also to support new community-driven tourism products.
Event specialist and Heart of St. Kitts Foundation coordinator Tishonda Sider Jenkins. The week of activities begin on February 23rd and end on March 3rd and will include a plastic-free day on February 26th. Ms. Sider Jenkins, the Heart in the Heart of St. Kitts, starts with the people of the Federation, and it is vital that more sustainable practices are adopted in order to make it a better place, not only for the tourists but locals as well.
We have to practice what we preach. We can't expect the visitors to take part in plastic-free activities if we are not doing it, so they're going to mimic us. We have to show example. We have to be the example for the visitors.
The Heart of St. Kitts Foundation was developed as a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Tourism and other tourism enterprises to ensure that development on the island continues to preserve and benefit the environment, culture, heritage, and the livelihoods of residents. Finally, a Memorandum of Understanding for Implementation of the Labor Market Information System, LMIS, in St. Kitts and Nevis was signed by key partners on Tuesday, February 5, 2019. A brief signing ceremony was held at the Department of Labor, where Labor Commissioner Shernell James signed on behalf of her department. The other signatories were Carlton Phipps, Director of Statistics on behalf of the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Cecile Hall, Assistant Secretary on behalf of the Ministry of National Security, and Abendigo Rogers, Programmer on behalf of the St. Christopher and Nevis Social Security Board. The LMIS is designed to collect quantitative and qualitative information that can be used to assist policymakers and agencies in decision-making and program planning to meet labor-related demands. It is being implemented across the Caribbean community and will help member states provide relevant information for the CARICOM single market and economy. Commissioner James said interagency collaborations are important to ensure the proper functioning of the LMIS. That's the national news segment. You can visit our website at www.bunradio.com or check us out on Facebook at Bun Radio and our Bun Radio YouTube channel. News from across the region is next.
We know you have your personal as well as your business needs, and we're here to help. Our knowledgeable staff will work with you to help you achieve the financial success that you or your company needs in a competitive market. We offer solutions to make your banking experience easier, like our savings and checking accounts. Be sure to ask about our youth savers accounts and our Bank of Nevis Go Club. We offer a wide range of personal loans, including mortgage, land, student, auto, and consumer loans. Have access to your funds instantly with our BeOnline internet banking and our debit and credit cards. We make international banking and investing easy. How's your business? Give it the leverage it really needs by letting the Bank of Nevis assist you with all the necessary funding for all your business expenses. It's that easy. What are you waiting for? The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life.
Like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/The Bank of Nevis.
Welcome back, and now the regional news in detail. Guyana's Attorney General Basil Williams on Wednesday filed a petition in the Court of Appeal to reverse the ruling of Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire that the no-confidence vote which the coalition government lost last December is valid and that elections should be held. The government last month went to court to challenge the legality of the December 21, 2018 vote in the National Assembly after one of its backbenchers, Sharandas Prasad, sided with the opposition People's Party, National Party, PNP, to allow the motion to pass 33-32. The Coalition A Partnership for National Unity, APNU, lost the first round in its legal battle, with the Acting Chief Justice's January 31st ruling that the vote stands. According to a release from the Attorney General's chamber, the grounds of appeal filed yesterday with the Court of Appeal surround the government's belief that George Wiltshire erred and misdirected herself in law when she ruled that the National Assembly of Guyana properly, validly, and lawfully pass a motion on a vote of no confidence provided for by Article 106(6) of the Constitution. The Attorney General argues that the Acting Chief Justice erred in law and fact, and her decision was unreasonable and cannot be supported having regard to the evidence. It said further grounds of appeal will be filed when George Wiltshire's written judgment becomes available. The Attorney General has maintained the government's disagreement with the notion that 33 votes constitute an absolute majority, contending that an absolute majority is one more than the simple majority in Guyana's parliament. Out of Guyana. Guyana announced that the U.S.-based oil giant ExxonMobil has made 2 additional discoveries of oil offshore Guyana building on the previously announced estimated recoverable resource of more than 5 billion oil-equivalent barrels on the Stabroek Block. The authorities said that the latest discoveries at the Tilapia 1 and Hemaro 1 wells bring the total number of discoveries on the Stabroek Block to 12. Tilapia 1 is the fourth discovery in the turbot area that includes turbot, longtail, and pluma discoveries. Tilapia 1 encountered approximately 300 feet of high-quality oil-bearing sandstone reservoir and was drilled to a depth of 18,786 feet in 5,850 feet of water. The other discovery was at the Himara 1 well, which encountered approximately 207 feet of high-quality gas condensate sandstone reservoir. The well was drilled to a depth of 18,289 feet in 4,590 feet of water. The authorities say it is located approximately 19 miles east of the Pluma 1 discovery and is a potential new area for development. News from the BVI. As questions still surround the new electronic tabulating machines that will be used in the elections for the first time in BVI history, persons are being given another opportunity to test the equipment ahead of the February 25th general elections. This second round of public demonstrations of the machines will be held at the Central Administration Complex in Road Town on Sunday, February 10th. Supervisor of Elections Juliet Penn made it clear that the machines are not used to enter votes, they are only used to count them. One tabulating machine will be assigned to each of the 19 polling stations on election day. Penn said, as opposed to previous elections where 2 ballot papers were used, one for the district candidate and another for the at-large candidates, only 1 ballot paper will be used for these elections. That single ballot will contain the names of the respective district candidates as well as the at-large candidates. Finally, at least 7 people set to be deported to Jamaica have been granted a last-minute reprieve, with dozens more put on a charter flight for removal, according to activists. Campaigners working with those due to be deported by the Home Office believe up to 40 people were on a flight from Birmingham to the island's capital, Kingston, that took off on Wednesday morning. A Home Office spokesperson confirmed that 29 serious foreign criminals were flown to Jamaica on a chartered flight ranging in age from early 20s to late 50s. The spokesperson added the crimes committed by the individuals include murder, rape, and serious violence. The total combined sentence of their crimes is over 150 years imprisonment. That's it for our regional stories. Stay with us for news around the world. Welcome back, and now the international news in detail. Germany's competition regulator has told Facebook to substantially restrict how it collects and combines data about its users unless they give it explicit consent. The watchdog has carried out a probe into the social network following concerns that members were unaware of the extent of the firm's activities. It covered data gathered from third-party sources as well as via Facebook's other apps, including Instagram. The BBC's Damien McGuinness report.
Germany's cartel office has ruled that Facebook has been abusing its market dominance by collecting data on users without their consent. The ruling, which comes at the end of a 3-year investigation, objects to Facebook's practice of collecting data from other apps, including apps it owns, such as Instagram or WhatsApp. The ruling also objects to the collection of data of people who don't use Facebook. The company has said it will appeal and that German authorities don't appreciate the stiff competition Facebook faces. But if the ruling stands, Facebook would have to start asking members for permission to collect data.
India's central bank has unexpectedly cut interest rates in a bid to boost the slowing economy just weeks before a general election. More in this report.
The interest rate cut comes just 2 months after Shaktikanta Das, an ally of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, took over as the chief of the Reserve Bank of India. A week ago, the government announced a cash scheme for farmers and tax cuts for middle-class families in its interim budget. Mr. Modi has been under pressure to increase growth ahead of a tough re-election fight. Last week, a leaked government report showed unemployment was at a 45-year high. The figures came as a rude shock for Mr. Modi, who came to power in 2014, promising to boost India's economy and create millions of jobs.
A diplomatic row between France and Italy has deepened, with France complaining of unfounded attacks and outlandish claims by Italian leaders. France recalled its ambassador to Italy for talks today, saying the situation was unprecedented since the end of World War II. It comes after Italian Deputy PM Luigi Di Maio met French Yellow Vest protesters near Paris on Tuesday. France warned him not to interfere in the country's politics. Relations between the two countries, both founding members of the EU, have been tense since Italy's populist Five-Star Movement and right-wing League Party formed a coalition government in June 2018. The two governments have clashed over a range of issues, including immigration. Finally, Canadian diplomats who suffered from mysterious health complaints while they were posted to Cuba in 2017 are suing Ottawa for taking too long to evacuate them and provide them treatment, reports said Wednesday. 14 people, including current and former diplomats and their families, are seeking Canadian $28 million in damages from the federal government. All of them have been back in Canada for a year, but still suffer from what has become known as Havana syndrome, a mystery illness with symptoms including strong migraines as well as visual and auditory disorders. According to CBC, which interviewed 5 of those affected, the first symptoms appeared in the spring of 2017, but they say that Ottawa waited more than a year before helping everyone. Questioned on the subject on Wednesday while she was in Washington, Foreign Minister Chrystia Freeland said the safety of diplomats remain a top priority. On January 30th, Canada announced it had reduced its staffing at the embassy to about half as a result of the unexplained symptoms. That brings us to the end of our news segments. The latest in sports is next.
Most of us spend the better part of each weekday at the workplace. So why not make your office environment the kind of setting that helps you function at your personal best by outfitting it with top quality furniture, high-end photocopiers, printers, versatile office supplies, and the latest technology. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at the TDC Business Center are happy to provide you with personalized service to help you create an office space that's the total package. TDC Business Center, providing solutions that work.
Welcome back. Another sports in detail. Chris Gayle will make a return to West Indies colours, while Nicholas Pooran has earned his maiden call-up in the 50-over format as CWI selection panel named the 14-member squad for the first and second one-day internationals against England. The 39-year-old Gayle is the second most capped Windies player with 284 matches in his illustrious career. He is also the second leading run scorer with 9,727 runs behind Brian Lara with 10,405 runs in 299 appearances. Pooran is a 23-year-old left-hander who can also keep wicket. He has so far played 8 T20 internationals with a strike rate of 152.57 and a highest score of 53 not out. The matches will be played at Kensington Oval on Wednesday, February 20th and Friday, February 22nd. Full squad reads Jason Holder captain, Fabian Allen, Devendra Bishu, Darren Bravo, Chris Gayle, Shimron Hetmeyer, Shai Hope, Evan Lewis, Ashley Nurse, Kimo Paul, Nicholas Pooran, Rovman Powell, Kemar Roach and O'Shea Thomas. Northamptonshire have signed West Indies captain Jason Holder for the first month of the 2019 county season. The all-rounder 27 can play in Northam's first 2 Division II games and opening 6 one-day cup matches. Holder led his country to a series win over England this winter, but is banned for the 3rd test because of his side's slow over rate in Antigua. His move is subject to a no objection certificate being issued by Cricket West Indies and will see the fast bowler play in England for the first time before this summer's World Cup. Finally, Special Olympics St. Kitts and Nevis announces the full delegation of athletes, coaches and officials to represent the Federation at the upcoming Special Olympics World Games to be held in Abu Dhabi, UAE, 15th to the 21st March 2019. The delegation will be made up of 13 athletes, 6 coaches, a medical staff and 3 officials. The coaches have had most of our athletes in training for the past 18 months. The aim is to ensure that each athlete that is training in preparation realize their dream of participating and to be proudly represent the Federation on the world stage. At the last World Games held in Los Angeles, USA in 2015, 17 athletes participated and returned home with 23 medals, including 13 gold. The athletes will compete in 6 sports, namely athletics, bocce, cycling, swimming, tennis, and triathlon. Special Olympics is a global organization serving more than 3.9 million athletes in 170 nations. Special Olympics St. Kitts and Nevis has been a proud member since 1983. That's it for the sports segment. The general weather forecast is next. Welcome back. Another local weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. Weather tonight partly cloudy with a 30% or low chance of showers. Weather tomorrow partly sunny with a 50% or a moderate chance of showers. Winds east at less than 19 kilometers per hour or less than 10 knots tonight and 9 to 22 kilometers per hour or 5 to 12 knots tomorrow. Seas less than 1.5 meters or less than 5 feet. Sunrise tomorrow is at 6:41 a.m. And that's how we wrap up the major news package for today, Thursday, 7th February 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, 16 nationals invested with the 2018 National Honors Awards, and St. Kitts and Nevis to host the inaugural International Women in Employment and Business Conference. Regionally, Guyana government appeals Chief Justice's ruling in no confidence motion case. Internationally, Germany orders Facebook to gather and mix less data. And in sports, Chris Gayle returns to Windies lineup for England ODIs. On behalf of the news team, I am Tamil Reid, wishing you a pleasant evening.